Title: Haunted House Halloween Animated Horror Story. Part 2, English. The night was darker than ever, and the air carried a strange chill that made the skin crawl. The old mansion at the edge of Willow Creek stood silent, its broken windows staring into the void like the eyes of something that had seen too much. But tonight, Halloween night, it wasn't silent for long. A faint whisper echoed through the empty halls. A whisper that didn't belong to the living. It had been a year since Evelyn, Noah, and Lily barely escaped the haunted mansion that had claimed the lives of countless souls. The memories of that night still haunted them, the flickering lights, the screaming faces, the smell of decay, and above all, the spirit of the woman in the red dress who refused to let them go. Evelyn had changed since that night. Once fearless and curious, she now avoided darkness altogether. But as Halloween approached again, something began to stir. She started receiving messages, written in an old, trembling hand, slipped under her door at night. Each note said the same thing. You left something behind. At first, she thought it was a cruel prank. But then Noah called her, his voice trembling. Evelyn, I got one too. And then Lily, the youngest of the group, stopped answering her phone entirely. Determined to find her friend, Evelyn convinced Noah to return to the place they swore never to see again, the haunted hollow mansion. The same place where their lives had almost ended. Maybe it's not her, Noah warned as they drove through the foggy forest road. Maybe it's something else. I don't care, Evelyn said, gripping the steering wheel tighter. If Lily's in trouble, we go. The mansion appeared out of the mist like a corpse rising from the grave. Its once grand structure was now sagging, half eaten by vines, half swallowed by time. But the strange thing was, the front door was already open, and from inside came the faint sound of a music box playing. The two stepped in. Dust rose in the beam of their flashlights, and the air was thick with rot. Every step echoed like a warning. Evelyn's heart raced as she saw the familiar hallway, the cracked mirror, the burned carpet, the staircase that creaked like bones, snapping underfoot. Lily, she called out, it's us. A door upstairs slammed shut. They ran toward the sound, the music box growing louder, faster, distorted. When they reached the top, they found Lily's phone lying on the floor, its screen cracked, playing a shaky video recording. In the video, Lily was crying. She's back, she whispered. The lady in the red dress, she's angry. She said one of us still belongs to her. The screen went black. Before they could react, the lights flickered violently. The walls began to breathe, expanding and shrinking, as if the house itself was alive. And then they saw her. The woman in the red dress appeared at the end of the hall, her eyes glowing like dying embers, her hair floating as though underwater. You came back, she hissed. You left me unfinished. Evelyn stepped forward, trembling but determined. What do you want from us? The woman raised a skeletal hand, pointed toward the floor. Boards cracked open, revealing a small, old wooden box buried beneath the rotted planks. "Open it," she whispered. Inside the box was a locket, rusted, old, but familiar. Evelyn gasped. This was mine when I was a child. She remembered then how she had lost it in the mansion years ago when her family lived nearby, before it became haunted. The woman's face twisted in agony. "You took it and left me here," she screamed, her voice shaking the walls. "You were the child who lived while I burned." Evelyn's mind flashed back to the fire she barely survived as a girl. Her parents had rented this mansion long ago. The fire that killed the maid, the woman in the red dress, had been caused by a candle Evelyn had accidentally knocked over. The woman had saved her, pushing her out the door, but was trapped inside herself. The ghost wasn't a stranger. She was the one who saved Evelyn. Tears filled Evelyn's eyes. "I didn't know. I was a child." The spirit's scream turned to a wail of grief. "Then free me." Evelyn held the locket close to her chest. "I'll make it right." She knelt down, whispering words of apology not for herself, but for the life taken unfairly by fate. Noah helped her light a candle, placing it beside the box. Together they spoke softly, their voices trembling. "Rest now, we remember you." The air grew still. The ghost's face softened. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice fading as her form dissolved into light. The mansion's groans stopped. The shadows retreated. For the first time in decades, silence returned, not the silence of dread, but peace. Outside, dawn began to break through the fog. Evelyn looked back one last time. The mansion, now quiet and still, seemed almost beautiful again. Noah placed a hand on her shoulder. "Do you think she's finally free?" Evelyn smiled faintly. "I think she's home." They walked away, the rising sun reflecting in Evelyn's tear-filled eyes. The locket glowed faintly in her palm, warm with something that felt almost like forgiveness. But as the camera panned back toward the house, a faint light flickered in an upstairs window. A shadow moved, then smiled. The music box began to play again.